So this is chapter 4 of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. You all have just arrived in this mountainous, fractured part of the realm of Prismere. And let's see here. So the winds are howling all around you. You find yourself climbing up into rocky crags. You're following the directions given to you by Squirt, the oil can. You find yourselves up in these rocky crags. The sky's dark, full of roiling thunderclouds. The wind's howling across the peaks, and every now and then, for a split second, the sky lights up as lightning arcs across from mountain peak to mountain peak. And you can see a distant pinnacle of rock that has a foreboding castle carved into it. Early in your travels through these mountains, you come to two figures standing on an outcrop of rock, outlined against the stormy sky. One is a slender female elf wearing a crescent moon mask, and the other is a 3-foot-tall dandelion with a small rapier strapped to its stem. A honeybee the size of an orange buzzes around the dandelion's bright yellow head. So let me move you guys to where you're at here. And we're going to handle a little bit of stuff kind of in flashback mode. So let me just get you going here, and then we'll flash back to some before you got here stuff. Okay, so here you are climbing through these rocky trails in the mountains, and you come across this trio up ahead of you here. The dandelion, about 3 feet tall, the female elf with the moon mask. I have a picture of the elf. Yeah, there you go. The dandelion, and then this big bee, like the size of an orange, flying around the two of them. The elf is the first to notice you. As she points in your direction, the dandelion draws its rapier and assumes a defensive pose. The honeybee buzzes more loudly as it flies circles around the two of them. So, what do you guys want to do? Who wants to do the talking?
Jotaro is willing to do the talking unless somebody else wants to. But Jotaro is always willing to talk.
I'll just remind Jotaro, unless he already remembers, since I've been carefully poring over my notes. We were told of a dandelion in this realm by Lomorna the unicorn.
We were warned?
We were told that if we could find one here, that it would help us find the palace.
Okay.
I think his name was Amador.
Well, I have a feeling that that's what this one's name is. Don't ask me how I know this. So, Jotaro will say, greetings. Would you happen to be the famous Amador, the dandelion?
The dandelion puts its rapier back into its sheath and raises its flowery head up proud and says, I am Amador. Who are you? And we'll do the character intros as you guys introduce yourselves to Amador. Amador says, this is Gleam, my friend, who I met in my travels through this realm. And Portia, you've heard of a Gleam and a Glister, which were two elven twins who worked at the Witchlight Carnival before you got there. They were famed for their acrobatics, and Mr. Witch, Mr. Light used to talk about them and wonder where they had gone. Well, here's one of them here. Okay, so introductions. We'll start with Jotaro.
I am Jotaro. I am a agent of the Sealy Court. I have been tasked with discovering the fate of Zabilna, Archfey ruler of Prismere. I have defeated one of the members of the Hourglass Coven, and I intend to bring the other two to justice, the justice of the Sealy. And you can see Jotaro's, the fur around his nose appears to have been singed off. It appears that maybe he had improperly used some of his dust of corrosion before getting here.
I'm really worried about Jotaro.
Okay, Portia's up front, so Portia, you can go next.
Oh, okay. I will introduce myself as Portia. former fortune teller of the Witchlight Carnival and current Witchlight monarch, if that means anything. And that I was tasked to help out this party on their endeavor by a Fey Dragon working on behalf of the Warlock that a few of the others have been in communication with. And she's appears to be a tall human.
You can see that your introduction as the Witchlight Monarch definitely garnered some interest from Amador. Some deference was paid to you, and he kind of not curtsied, but acknowledged your monarchy.
I'll curtsy back.
Okay. That little rook on your token, that's your monarch status. So,
okay.
So gotcha. I don't forget again, like I did every time before. Okay, Tiny G.
Tiny G, formerly Tiny G 3 inches shorter, is now Tiny G 3 inches taller. He originally started searching for a likely prank from his uncle Daniel, but when he realized that it wasn't that, he got even more angry at him, so he was more determined that he's all a part of a big ruse this whole time. He is a kind of like Fey-touched barbarian, and he has like a new helping hand for the casters whenever they get tapped on spells.
Okay, that's Tiny. Then Maynard, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Maynard. I'm a halfling who was adopted by a traveling troupe of theater performers. You might remember me from my performance in the tense thriller Night's Dark Terror. Few have heard of it, but it proved very influential.
Wait a second.
Mastery.
Is this the first time I've noticed this? Are all your plays old adventures?
No.
No, okay.
But good catch.
Yeah.
It's different every time.
Mm-hmm.
And through my mastery of stage fighting, I have adapted that to real life fighting in my quest for vengeance against the three who have taken over this land.
And lastly, Big Blue.
Hey, good evening. Big Blue is neither blue or big. He's a very, very light fairy. Flitters around. Of note about Big Blue is he never seems to venture more than 30 feet away from his party at all times. That seems to be very important to him. Obviously from the Feywild, got mixed up with the carnival and then got left, right, in the realm. Got pulled into the clergy and kind of found a way within the kind of the temple or the clergy of Eldith, right? And he's really about keeping the peace, right? He's a mediator. He's always making sure that all of these people he's traveling with are taken care of the best he can, right? So he's kind of new to this.
Okay.
But he's coming over much like Jotaro. I think it was Jotaro. Or was it Tiny G? Both of us are kind of following the kind of guiding of the warlock who's kind of lost his patron. So Jotaro?
Jotaro, he was sent by the Sealy court to find out what
Tiny G,
talk to the
right?
warlock. Well, Jotaro went to the warlock.
Oh, okay.
I just added a little prelude to that he was sent by the Sealy court. That's an invention of mine. As is Jotaro's habit. Which, by the way, thanks to that habit, he has an extra attack now because he's moving a lot faster.
That's true. Yep. Yep. Okay, so now a flashback occurs to all of you. And Portia, you can do your tarot reading kind of as flashbacks too. That's not what this is. But if you want to pull out 5 cards and then take some time to think about how to weave them in. At any time, you can weave a card in. Try that today, see how that works out. A flashback. When you guys see Gleam, this elven woman with a face ornament of a crescent moon, it reminds you of something just from a couple days ago. When Scabatha, the hag in thither, was slain, and her crumpled up body laid against the wall of the kitchen floor, a beetle emerged from her rotten flesh, and it skittered on over to the closest of you. I forget who that was. It still sends chills down your spine, though, when you think of it, because the beetle whispered, and it said, in a language you could understand, Edelyn fears eclipses, not just real ones, but symbolic ones as well. If you want to kill her, best do it during an eclipse, or her body will reform. So that was the beetle that crawled out of Scabatha's slain body. Endelyn Moongrave is the hag who rules over the realm you're in now. Amador, before you can ask any questions of Gleam or anything about like that, Amador steps forward and he says, I beseech you, friends, for help. By way of reciprocity, I offer my services as a guide. I need to recover Gleam's sister. Can you aid me in this endeavor?
I believe that having Amador as a guide would be something of true value. So I am willing to agree to this quest.
I will always help my Witchlight brethren.
Good, it is settled then. And he shares with you some information he knows about this realm that you're in that could come in handy for you. Let's see. He shares with you that he's on the run after freeing Pollinella, the bee there, Polly, a queen bee from a Cyclops beekeeper who lives here in these mountains. The two of them crossed paths with Gleam, and he gestures to the elf beside him, and after hearing the elf's sorry tale, I resolved to help her, he says. Endelyn Moongrave snipped off Gleam's shadow using a pair of magic scissors. And now that you notice that in the flashes of lightning that periodically dance across the sky, you don't see a shadow for Gleam at all, whereas the rest of you do cast shadows. Endelyn has her sister imprisoned. The rule of hospitality prevents the hag from harming Glister, but Gleam can sense her sister's distress. The twins work as an acrobatic duo, and they used to be star performers in the Witchlight Carnival. Gleam wants to free her sister and find a way back to the carnival, and I aim to help. And in fact, there's also a place near here called the Bay Beacons, which may be a gateway to get her home.
Why did she take her?
Why did she take her shadow?
Or why does she have her sister captured?
Well, since she snipped off Gleam's shadow, Gleam says, well, if you promise to help me, I can tell you why. You kind of already promised to help him, so
yeah, that's easy to give.
She tells you that these mountains are home to clans of Koreds, stout fey creatures whose hair has the strength of iron. They look like little gray dwarves. The Koreds gather and dance at Lockbury Hedge. There's also an elf prince named Alagarthas, who made a bargain with Edelyn, and now finds himself trapped in Yon. He's at the Fey Beacon searching for a way home. Finally, there's Hurley, a bugbear who made a bargain with Edelyn, and is quite unhappy with how things played out. It seems everyone who makes a bargain with her comes up on the short end. Now, the bugbear is forced to perform in her morbid theater, just like my sister and I were performing. Hurley used to work for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, though Gleam and her sibling had already left the carnival by the time Hurley and his brother Burley arrived. Hurley is eager to see his brother again, and Gleam would like to help him if she can. So now you got two people to rescue from under Edelyn Moongrave's castle. You got Glister, Gleam's sister, and you got Hurley, Burley's brother. And why
What
did
are the Fey beacons again?
the Fey beacons, Amador steps forward and explains, are great beacons, razors of coals, and if a person is to light them all, it will open a gateway back to their home.
This is different than the dancing mushrooms. Wasn't that a Fey beacon as well?
Yeah, the difference with that one was you didn't necessarily go home. You went somewhere, but not
That's a
necessarily home.
random beacon.
Yeah.
Not a Fey beacon. Okay.
Now Gleam chimes in. She says you asked why Edelyn snipped off my shadow. It's because she's afraid of me and my sister. She believes her own demise, Edelyn does at least, will occur during an eclipse. And because there's no moon in the sky over yon, she must assume that it will be some sort of symbolic display. My sister has a face mask like mine, but hers is of the sun. I think the hag is trying to keep us apart, to forestall her doom. So if you'll help, Amador says, perhaps we can head to the Fey Beacons and check with the elf prince Aligarthus there and see if he can tell us how to activate the beacons. It'll be on the way to the castle if we want.
Absolutely.
That sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you set off on your way.
Is the Tin Can a voting member of the party?
He's not a voting member of the party. No.
Okay.
He's still with us, or did he?
He's still with
will
you.
be back?
Yeah. So you got this band here, your band, and you all are traveling together through these rocky hills. When you come to
Wait. I feel like I missed the story about the bee.
Oh, Amador, yes. I rescued Polynella here from a great Cyclops beekeeper. He might come for her. We will have to defend her honor.
Cyclops.
So, you guys set off into the mountains, heading toward the Fey Beacons. This is kind of a schematic of the mountains. And you would have arrived coming across this bridge here into the mountains, and the Fey Beacons are right next door. So that's pretty handy. But as you're traveling through the mountain paths to get there, you encounter some giant mountain goats. So 3 giant mountain goats are in your path, and they have silvery gray fur, wizened faces, and golden hourglass-shaped pupils that observe you closely. When you get within earshot of them, the first of them bleats in Elven the following. It says, when the moon obstructs the sun, creeping Lynn will come undone. The second one bleats, play to her passions, stay on script, a cat, a horn, or a shadow ripped. And finally the third bleats, the fool's scepter is the key. After the third one bleats that, all 3 of them look at your group expectantly.
Can you post that in chat?
Sure. So you got these giant goats looking at you expectantly, like they expect something in return for the info they gave you.
The first bleat makes sense.
Right.
Do we know anything about a fool's scepter? Maynard asked.
Jotaro will say, I must admit this is the first I've heard of a rhyming goat, but be polite, do not gloat.
One of the big goats comes over toward one of you, whoever's closest, and looks down on you expectantly.
I do not know what you want us to see. Rhymes with key.
I reach into my inventory and grab out some dried fruit from my ration.
Okay, so the goat comes over and eats those out of your hand, and then they all prance off along the mountainside and leave you be. All right.
Well, they were helpful.
The oracle goats. The goats of Delphi.
You continually traveling through the blustery, blowing wind and the darkness. The Fey Beacon should be around here somewhere, Amador says. This realm, though, as all these realms, seem to twist and turn and never bring you to an end. And as he's saying that, you see up ahead a throne hewn from a boulder and etched with astronomical symbols. There's a picture of it up here. Yeah. You look right here on the map. Symbols? So you see this throne ahead. Hewn from a boulder, etched with astronomical symbols. It has an inscription in Elvish engraved around its seat.
Carl will read the inscription.
You read Elvish?
I do.
All right. It says...
My dealer's Elvin.
I am a traveler from a distant land. My name is Mazakoth, keeper of stars. Sit on my throne, disciple, and unravel. Do any of you have training in Arcana? Move your token 1 square up if you do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Two of you do, okay. The two of you have training in Arcana. Do either of you have training in history? Move your token another square up if you do. Ooh, big blue. Okay, big blue.
Do you count
You're good. You already got it.
Jack of all trades? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you already got it. Okay, so Big Blue, you recall this Mazakoth name. Mazakoth, as you recall, Big Blue, was an elf and a celebrated astronomer who claimed to hail from a black star at the edge of night.
I relay that. I fold my hands behind my lower back and walk back and forth like a professor. But on the back of the top of the throne, I walk back and forth into this.
As you guys are circled around this stone, maybe one of your portent cards might have had something to indicate about this portrait. You want to reveal a couple of them?
Yeah, sure.
See if it gives you any guidance.
Begin at the beginning here. Oh. And zoom in so I can actually see what that says. The charlatan.
Also, for reference, all of you have inspiration because you found all your lost things.
Yay.
Hooray!
Yay.
So now your main goals are to find what happened to Zybilna and rescue her or save her or whatnot. And then also you have the unicorn, and you're looking for the lost unicorn horn.
So this one is the charlatan, which represents liars or those who profess to believe one thing but actually believe another. And how many would you want me to?
How about one more?
Sure. The miser. This one represents hoarded wealth and those who are irreversibly unhappy.
So the first one is something related to the party. Is that right?
Yeah, typically, yeah, they're supposed to be that the first one kind of represents the subject being talked about in general, which I've usually interpreted it as the party. But also potentially if you wanted to portray any of these as being inverted, then it might be long forgotten friends or an ally among enemies.
Got it. Okay, so none of these seem to pertain to this astronomer's throne. What do you guys want to do? Move on or do something with it?
Seems like somebody's got to sit in it.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah, being tired walking, I'm just going to sit down on the throne.
Big Blue, you said you're going to sit down on it?
Well, I'm going to cast Heroism. Just in case I die, I'm going to cast Heroism on Maynard, Portia, and Jotaro.
Got it.
So I'm going to do that.
What does Heroism do?
Yeah, I think it's 5 extra.
Lasts for a minute. You're immune to Fright. You gain 4 temp hit points the start of your target's turn.
Did you mean aid?
I meant aid. Aid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus 5 to temp, or plus 5 to current and max.
I meant aid, yes.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then you sit on the throne, Big Blue?
Yeah.
Okay, Big Blue. Upon sitting on the throne, you begin to feel cold and drowsy.
Oh.
Do you want to remain seated in the throne as this feeling grows on you?
Sit on my throne, disciple, and unravel. Does it sound like this is going to end well?
You're pretty muted. I can't quite hear what you're saying.
Oh, I wonder if this is going to end well.
You want to stay seated?
Yeah, I'll wait for the next effect.
Okay. After about a minute of sitting on that throne, you guys see Big Blue lapse into deep, deep sleep. He lies there like in a trance, or he sits there like in a trance. Not moving, not waking, breathing only very shallowly.
I'm going to poke him with the tip of my longbow.
Nothing happens when you poke him.
Can I, look at his eyelids and see if they're twitching like he's having a dream?
They are. He's having some sort of vision in that chair, you think? Do you want
Give it a minute?
Do you want to wait for him to come awake on his own or try and wake him up yourself?
I say we give it 10 minutes and see if he comes awake on his own.
Yeah, I'll keep watching his eyes, and if they seem to cease doing stuff like that, then I'll maybe suggest waking him.
So they seem to be continuing periodically. Small little gaps, so no movement, but then resume again. 10 minutes passes. Want to wait longer?
There's no change at all?
No, everything seems seems to be staying like he's in a trance, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to try to shake him awake.
Sure.
Okay. Nothing shaking him wakes him.
Can we pull him off the throne?
You throw him off the chair. Okay. He wakes with a start. And this is what happened. This is what you saw, Big Blue. You were unaware of your surroundings completely, but you were hurtling through space. You could see stars flying past you. You could see far away, like a pinprick of like black light, like a dead star that you were hurtling toward. You didn't quite get to the surface before you were awoken.
So I'll relay that I think this is some sort. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something with Discord. It always tries to turn my webcam on. Good thing I wasn't yelling at my cat again. So, and it woke me up. You guys woke me up just before
you got to the Dead Star.
Yeah. Which may
Do
have
you
been a
want me to
good
go back
thing.
under?
I don't think so. Now that I know, it may have been my end, right?
Would it have been? I don't
How long
know.
was I down? Hours?
About 10 minutes.
All right.
You don't know how much time passed in the vision. You don't have a good sense if it was a minute or a year.
All right. Well, do you want me to do 20, maybe 20 minutes?
Did you ever feel like you were in peril?
No. I mean, my stomach a little bit, being weightless and flying it faster than the speed of light does have something to do with your GI tract. But other than that, I got the butterflies. All right, 20 minutes.
Okay. When you sit down in the throne, you don't have that feeling again.
Oh.
And it doesn't put you to sleep this time.
Oh, the vision?
Yeah.
Should someone else attempt?
Taro has no intention of checking out a Dead Star.
Not curious at all?
No. Jotaro has taken many trips into outer space. Jotaro knows what a bad trip looks like when he sees one.
Well, none of my fur was singed in this trip, so.
Any other volunteers? If not, you can move on. No?
Always something cool. And at the end of the night, we're going to find out, like, oh, the star was made of gold.
You
and
get
if
a wish
touch
spell,
it,
yeah.
all your attributes are raised by 1.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It could be. Somebody wants to check that out and find out.
No one's volunteering.
No.
Oh, but I want to know.
Portia's going to
I
volunteer.
remember one time one of my party members set in something in the Tomb of Annihilation and wound up in the middle of the sun.
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh. No, I'm playing a cautious character. I'm not going to sit in the chair.
I mean, I have Revivify.
I sit in the chair.
Okay. Are you going to let it run its course? Are you going to let it run its course, or are you going to pull her out after some amount of time?
What do you want, Portia? It's whatever you want. Let it run its course.
You're
You're gonna do it. Do it right. That's what I say.
Can I try to remember to like make a fist if I'm scared while I'm sleeping?
Sure, you
Or
can
something.
try.
Okay. All right.
Very specific.
Jotaro tells her that he's totally convinced this is going to work.
Don't tarry longer.
Jotaro's very curious about this. Somebody else.
I feel like we shouldn't waste too much time, so maybe half an hour at most.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I wink at Big Blue when we say that.
So, after half an hour, Portia is still in a trance. Are you going to let her continue or pull her off?
Jotaro, this seems like it's only been 10 minutes, so he's just going to keep.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the tin can.
Time's different in the Feywild, so.
That's right.
We're on island time. I think I'll leave her for 45 minutes, and then I'll look to everybody in it. Does anybody have any one way or another? All right.
Well, Big Blue, didn't you prepare augury or something?
I got rid of it because it seemed, with the tarot cards, it seemed a little bit, it wasn't as cool as Portia. That's why I'm leaving her on for 45 minutes.
That's fair.
So the four of you are discussing things. You're not sure how long it's been.
Jotaro's on the nod.
Jotaro's sleeping. Amador's practicing swordplay with Maynard. They're about the same height.
Hey,
And then all of a sudden, Portia awakes with a start. Portia.
Oh, it must have been less than half an hour,
You
but I
hurtled-
seem to have made it through.
You hurtle through space toward a faraway dead star.
Uh-huh.
You arrived at the star's cold surface just as the dream ended and you awoke. But you gain proficiency in one of your choice of the following: Arcana, Deception, History, Insight, Intuition, or Survival.
Whoa.
Arcana, Deception, History, Insight, Intuition, or Survival.
For
Wait,
some reason, there
Insight.
Intuition,
It's
even a thing?
It's Intimidation. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, wait, I want the new character sheet then.
Sorry, 1 second. My Roll20 tab seems to have crashed.
You don't have to pick now. You can think about what you want.
Okay. Is it possible to put those choices in the chat
It-
once I'm back
yeah,
in?
I did.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to log back in now.
Okay, so you're back traveling through the mountains, trying to get to this Fey beacon. It seems elusive, but eventually you do come to a spot where you can see the columns of rock that you're expecting to see. 8 of them reach toward the sky, forming a ring around a deep crater lake in the mountains. You see rough-hewn steps spiraling up each of the columns. There's a rowboat moored on the lakeshore next to one of the columns. A torch-bearing figure trudges up the stairs on the column nearest to the rowboat. 8 winged beasts with antlers shout and howl with laughter as they circle and wheel around the figure. Let me give you a map here so you can see it. You're like here now. This is the Fey beacons in the crater lake that you're at. These are what these figures look like. I mean, the winged creatures. I mean, black feathered giant eagles with
Puritans.
antlered heads,
Neat.
and the individual bearing the torch doesn't have any weapons that you can see or armor that you can see. Too far away to see what he might be for ancestry, but here we go. So this is what the top of this column looks like, and there's a great big copper brazier at the summit, which you can't quite see from your vantage point. But the individual gets up to the top of the column. He uses his torch to light the beacon there. The beacon burns bright as he descends the stairs and boards the rowboat. As the figure rows toward the next beacon, the black eagles that have been harassing him extinguish the flame in the brazier with powerful beats of their wings. The elf looks up and sees that and shakes his head, but proceeds on to the next column anyway to go and light it.
How fast is he going? Like, is he rowing faster than I can fly?
No, you guys can catch him, no problem.
Okay, I'll fly up to him.
Yeah, all of you can kind of hail him from the side of the lake even. Deception, okay.
Yeah.
He waves
with
back
it.
at you. He, when you get close enough, Big Blue, he hails you. He says, "Hail, stranger."
Good afternoon. Are you Algarthas?
Yes,
Garthas.
I am Prince Alagarthas. What is your name?
I'm Big Blue. You can call me Blue or Big Blue.
He smirks.
And these are my friends.
He smirks a little bit at that. He rows over toward your friends. He says, "Well met, friends of Big Blue.
Well, that
Greetings.
What are you doing here in the realm of Yon?"
we are tasked with discovering the fate of Zabilna and
He asks you who Zabilna is. Everyone make a wisdom insight check. Let me get you back to your tokens so you know where all your buttons are. There you guys are. And I'm going to drag you over to the map after you make your wisdom insight checks.
Oh,
Wow, Big Blue. 27 insight. So his curiosity seems to be genuine in his questioning about who Zybilna is. He somehow doesn't know anything about Zybilna. So he's curious. He says that is a tragic story. Do you share with him the hags and the coven and stuff?
yes. Yes.
Well, that explains it. You see, there's a hag that rules over this realm. She must have been one of the ones who have imprisoned your Fey queen. Her name's Edelyn. She has a castle. It's a grand and terrible theater. She has plays that are performed on the stage there for her amusement. She's always trying to recruit new actors to perform in her theater. Look up there. He points to the black eagles circling above. Those were once a troupe of actors called the Greyhawk Mummers. Edelyn invited them to Motherhorn, where they performed pantomimes. I attended several of their performances. When their popularity made them haughty and difficult to control, Edelyn locked them up. When they begged to be set free, the hag honored their request by releasing them into the wild, but only after she turned them into peritons. They can't speak, but they do retain their theatrical behavior. I'm trying to get home. Maybe you could help me convince them to let me go.
We could definitely try.
Absolutely. We have an actor with us, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You may have heard of him.
Yep, damn it. Beat me to the joke.
But from where? From where, Maynard?
From
Oh, you might remember me from my performance in Behold Her. I hardly knew her.
oh my god.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
How do you make someone unsay something?
do any of the what were they called? Peritons?
Peritons, yeah. You want to wave any of them over?
Yeah, did any of them hear the name of the play and were like, oh?
Yeah, maybe one of them might have heard that through the wind, and they all flock down toward you. Flying in lazy circles around you, just kind of observing. What do you want to say to them?
I guess maybe a little melodramatically, be like, greetings! Who all here is an enemy of the hag who turned you into eagles?
They ruffle their feathers a little bit and kind of take stances on the rocks and perch to watch your guys' performance if you want to put on a performance for them. You could impress them maybe if you are really good at acting. I mean, maybe if you're as good as Maynard is, with a performance group check. And before you decide if you want to try and do a play for these peritons, if any of you received acting lessons from Candlefoot in the Witchlight Carnival, you'll have advantage on that check. Let me see if Maynard did. You can all hit your H button for history.
Jotaro received Candlefoot Acting Lesson Story Award.
Maynard did too. So two of you are having advantage on performance checks.
Yes.
Yep.
And Jotaro's been watching Maynard this entire time and feels like he could do it. He's heard stories of actors and some of the parties that they get up to. It has been like he heard about the famous Chevy Chase and really would like to hang out with him for a little bit.
Okay. Do you guys? So I guess let's put this to a vote. If you guys want to perform See if you can impress the Paratons. Move your token 1 square up.
Are you kidding?
Of course. And you all have advantage on the check. So everyone go ahead and make a charisma performance check. If there's any guidance.
Yeah.
I think Big Blue has
19
guidance.
for Jotaro.
Portia has guidance. Assume you use the guidance on yourselves, or actually
I probably should use it on me. I had a charisma 8, so.
Who can I use
Guide
it on?
yourself?
You can use it on yourself, yeah.
Okay.
Look at
Tiny
that.
G.
Maynard crits it as you would expect.
Wow, Maynard.
I'll pat Tiny G on the shoulder and be like,
Yeah.
okay, good luck. Happy faces.
Well,
You got a 12.
Tiny G got a 12. Jotaro got a
Happy
19.
faces,
19.
Portia.
Maynard got a 25. Big Blue got a 18.
Yep. +4.
And Portia got a 13. So you guys got it.
20.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
You are now kindred spirits with the Paratons. Archilus is their leader. Mortia is the leading female of the troop. You learn about Virna, Morticia's bitter understudy. Maldauer, an old-timer who believes his cohorts are amateurs. Angara, the troop's matriarchal dame. Gorgonal, a jester. And Karthasar, a method actor. And Thornelia, a minstrel.
Jester?
Anything you want to say to them?
Which one was the jester?
The jester's name was Gorgonal.
I'll ask Gorgonal, does he have a scepter? Or did he have a scepter?
Ooh, smart. He does not.
No.
But he pantomimes for you a goblin. So there's a goblin with the scepter.
Okay.
Who this individual must have at some point met. Anything you want to ask them?
And they stop blowing out the
Yeah,
flames so that the elf can get home.
yeah. They will, since you asked nicely.
Yeah. Kind of feel like these actors were a bit of a dick for doing it in the first place. But
All right.
then
So,
again, I'm starting to think that maybe that's consistent with actors. So.
Maynard might take offense to that. So they hang out with you, get to know you.
Have they seen an old unicorn horn lying around anywhere?
One of them ruffles his feathers and pulls a unicorn horn out and sets it on the ground by your feet, Portia.
A pantomimed one or a real unicorn horn?
A real unicorn horn.
Well done,
What
Portia.
I asked them if they've seen 950 gold pieces laying around.
He shakes his head no.
Can I inspect it? Does it seem like a genuinely magical unicorn horn?
You think it is. He starts pantomiming how he found it. These are really good pantomimers, evidently. He pantomimes a rocking horse.
Are you taking notes, Maynard?
A flying rocking horse and an old hag flying on the rocking horse, and how the hag dropped accidentally the horn when she's flying over the mountains. Archilus found it and he kept it, and he gives it to you.
I just want to say, I am but a humble student at the feet of the master here.
As this is happening, Aligarthus has taken to go light all the beacons. He knows he must be the one to light the beacons, for only then will they show him the way home. So when you find Gleam's sister, you'll need to come here, and Gleam and her sister will have to do the same thing to get home. So this takes quite a while for him to climb each rock, light the beacon, go to the next rock, light it, and he has to do it. Otherwise, it won't take him home. So you get a long rest while you're waiting for him to do this. Beneath the light of all the beacons, you see reflected in the mirror-like surface of the lake a forest of ancient trees shrouded in mist. Oh, and you also get to learn a little bit more about Aligarthus while he's doing it. Aligarthus.
Is there a reason why we're waiting for him to do this?
Just so you can see how it works, maybe, or if it works.
Okay, fair.
We're gonna need to know.
You say so.
Prince Aligarthus shares with you that he's a wood elf prince from the material plane.
Which world?
He believes the fiery beacons will find his way home. After several failed attempts to fend off a green dragon threatening the prosperity of his kingdom, Aligarthus caught the eye of Endolin Moongrave, who visited him on his home world of Toril. The hag showed the prince a future in which he defeated the dragon but lost his life in the process. Endolin also claimed to see an alternate future in which the dragon was defeated and Aligarthus survived. She would share the details of her vision with Aligarthus, however, only after he stayed with her in the Feywild for at least 1 year. He said he saw a year of his life as a small price to pay, so he accepted the hag's terms. And the years seemed to drag on, and when it finally ended, Aligarthus found himself with only one way to get home, a path that, according to Endolin, is visible only in the light of the 8 beacons. Since that time, he's been trying to light them, and the Peritons have been putting them out. He hoped that they would grow bored of their antics and leave him alone eventually. He was misguided in that expectation until you all came along. And okay, so then he lights the last thing, and you see the mirror-like surface of the lake turn into a forest of ancient trees. He bows to you, then leaps into the lake. As he plunges into the water, ripples fan out across its surface, and after a minute the forest scene fades away, and the beacons go out one by one. So there you go. That's your way out of here to get to where whoever lights the beacons wants to go.
I'd like to ask the Greyhawk Mummers if there's any way to return them to their natural form, free them of the curse.
They don't know the workings of the magic that have been used against them. Some sort of fey spell they're unfamiliar with. You, however, can research it. Potentially, what you know already, defeating the hag might be necessary.
That adds up.
Sure.
We're going to do that anyways. At least Jotaro was.
All right, so you've finished with the Fey Beacons. You've got the Unicorn Horn. The Greyhawk Mummers are still here. You found the Astronomer's Throne, the Awakened Giant Goats. Now,
Fool's Scepter is with the goblin.
there's a goblin with a scepter.
Yep.
Now, your choice if you want to head to Motherhorn, which is where you'd expect the hag to be, or potentially to the Lockbury Henge, where you might be able to get the alliance of some of the fey creatures who live in this realm, which you might need to overcome the hag of this realm.
That's the stone dwarves, or
That's the
dwarves?
stone dwarves, yeah.
Okay.
The Chorids. Yeah, that's
Chorids.
where Chitara would be willing to go.
Sounds
Okay,
like a plan.
let's plan on going there. Let's take a quick break and come back at 5 after the hour.
All right. Perfect.
So, you finish your long rest. You move on toward the Kored Lockbury Hedge to hopefully make friends with the Koreds and get them on your side as allies. On the way there, you're traveling through the rocky mountainside. And I need to get your marching order. As if you're traveling from the top of the screen toward the bottom of the screen with your lead people like right here. So you're just traveling through these winding, twisting mountain passes, steep ledges on one side.
Jotaro is always going to want to be in the lead, even if it's not in a terrain he's necessarily favored to be on.
You got your friends in tow.
I think Big Blue wants to be equally spaced. Like if I could put my character token right in the middle, right here,
Yeah.
I would. Like if it would snap there.
Okay.
He's really taking this glue thing to heart.
So you come around the corner to see this.
Oh.
An enormous giant emerges from the blustery, billowing clouds. He's got a great big staff in one hand. A beehive is dangling off of that staff. He's got netting over his face to protect him from the bees. And when Amador sees this, he unsheaths his rapier to defend his beloved honeybee. Upon seeing Amador, the Cyclops roars in Giant. Do any of you speak Giant?
I do not.
No
one?
Nope.
None?
I do not.
Have you got a spell you can cast real fast to understand what he says?
Any chance he speaks a language other than Giant?
It's all Giant when he's screaming. Okay. Well, he's advancing upon you all to get that honeybee back from Amador. So if you're going to be in his way to stop him, you better roll initiative. So everyone roll initiative, please. Oh, I gotta get rid of these ones.
Ooh. I think I pressed the wrong thing there.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, got y'all. So he's coming forward. Streaming out of his staff is a swarm of bees. So they're there. Let me roll their initiative. And first person to react to him coming towards Amadon. And Amadon and Gleam and all the other NPCs, they will go on a count of 10. So I'll add them to as Amadon. So Maynard, you're first to react. You think the giant's going to come and forcefully take that honeybee from Amadon? Maybe kill Amadon in the process.
Well, we can't let that happen. So I'm going to come up and give him a little bit of my sting. Crits. With the sneak attack. Well,
31 points of damage.
Yep.
Got it.
And then I'm going to dash back with cunning action.
Holy cow, that's awesome damage.
Jotaro, your turn.
Jotaro is going to use bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the Cyclops.
Okay.
And is then going to shoot him with his longbow. That's going to be a 24 for 16.
That's a hit. 16 damage to the Cyclops. Got it.
And second extra attack, because he's got a little bit of boost of energy from the pixie dust. That's going to be 11, and I don't think I add my psychic again, or do I?
Once per turn on psychic.
That's what I thought. Okay, so then that's only going to be 11 damage.
Got it. After Jotaro, Big Blue.
Action. Boop.
Emboldening
Bond. Maynard, Tiny G, and me. It sounds like a band, like a Maynard, Tiny G, and me, or like a DNA test. And then as my, is it a? I should know this. Is it a action to deploy spiritual weapon, or is it a
Bonus.
Yes.
Bonus.
The bonus.
Or
And you get to
that's
make
not
it.
spiritual weapon, RL. That's spiritual guardian. Spiritual weapon. Yes, and then I will cast spiritual weapon. Uh, and I will drag it. I did this pre. And drag it. And I will do it like right here. So does it
Okay.
attack the same round that it
does.
comes up?
25
Okay.
is a hit.
It can.
doing 8 points damage.
Okay. And that's and I think I'm going to move here because Tiny G is probably going to run up and attack. So I'm going to stay right there. That's the end of me.
Portia.
Okay, Portia is going to cast Vicious not Vicious Mockery. The other one, Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the Cyclops.
You got him. So he drops to the ground. The ground shakes under his huge bulk, and he begins to laugh and writhe around. He's prone, incapacitated. You know that if you do damage to him, he'll get a save again. And he'll get a save at the end of each of his turns with advantage if he took damage. All right. What else, Portia?
And for my bonus action, I'm just going to activate a tail, the Beguiler, and then I'm going to run away. There.
All done?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, Tiny G.
Okay. Let's cast on the Cyclops and the Swarm. Let's cast Fairy Fire.
Ooh, nice.
Or as I call it, just fire. No one.
No, you ever you watch New Girl when Winston's like Black Friday, or as we call it, Friday?
Wow.
That's one of my wife's favorite. My wife and I's favorite jokes. We say it every Black Friday.
Okay, Fairy Fire. Object, creature, ally, 10 dex save, negates. He's incapacitated, which I think
It doesn't
no
matter.
actions or
That's,
reactions. He can still save. Okay. So dex save for him. He's outlined. And then dex save for the bees.
The bees.
They're outlined.
Oh!
Huzzah!
All of them.
Oh, your rolls are horrid.
Okay,
Do you know
Tiny.
what that means, though? It's going to turn.
Amador, he puts Polly behind him. He says, "Stay here, Polly." Gleam and Amador prepare to defend Polly's honor. Then the swarm comes swooping in, all purple and glittery as it flies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but it takes some effort through the blustery winds, and the swarm actually closes onto Big Blue, but it took a dash to do that. So then the Cyclops is laughing and writhing and pounding his fists on the ground, and then at the end of his turn, he gets a resave. 16 wisdom. And still continues laughing. That runs over. Maynard, your turn.
I guess I'll go after the swarm then, though I don't have any particular way to do it except to spear all those little bugs in the air. So take that. 16 to hit.
16 hit the swarm.
Yep, and I'll
and
go ahead and use the sneak attack.
Let me add another one here. Coming out of his, what in the world is that? Let me roll the initiative. There we go. This swarm is coming out from the beehive that the Cyclops has. So it's starting its turn next to the Cyclops and not covered in that. Okay, then Maynard, you hit. You did 12 points damage.
12 points.
That does 6 to the swarm.
And then I'll spear some more of them with my dagger. This seems like a lot of work.
That's a hit.
But
3 more.
gotta be done.
Okay, after Maynard, Jotaro.
Jataro's going to if I ready an attack, I don't get my extra attack. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, then I'm just going to attack the Cyclops because I have Hunter's Mark and advantage.
The Cyclops is prone, so it's going to give you a disadvantage.
Ooh. Well, so it'll be just straight up.
You have advantage from
Right.
something?
Fairy Fire?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. Still going to do it. But I'm going to move 1 in front of Maynard so he's not blocking. And here we go. Longbow. 12. Probably misses.
12 is a miss.
19 for 20.
20. Another saving throw with advantage. Still laughing. After Jotaro, Big Blue.
I'm gonna click on my token, and I'm going to do Toll the dead on the swarm that's around me.
Okay.
85.
Got it. 12
So
points.
12.
Only a
And
few
then-
bees remain now.
And spiritual weapon on the bees that are just south of my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
14 for 9.
9
Force.
force. Got it. And then Portia.
Portia is going to approach to here and attempt to just finish off the bees with literally like a bug killer poison spray that hopefully won't hit Big Blue. Where's my... There it is.
Got him. Last of the bees are gone. Of that swarm, at least. The bees swarming out of the hive come flying towards Big Blue. End up inside your space, Big Blue. Then, Tiny G, your turn.
Okay, go ahead and Rajay. And we got number 3. A pixie appears. And is going to explode in the B square.
Okay.
DC 14 deck save versus a D6.
You spooked yourself.
It'll explode at the end of your turn.
Oh, okay. And then I'll just go ahead and make 2 battle axe attacks on him.
Oh, wow.
A crit for 15.
Got it.
For 17.
17, got it.
Yeah.
This is on the bees, right?
On the bees.
17 magic slashing.
Okay.
That's 8 points damage to him.
Okay. And that, oh no, another crit for 16.
16, gone.
Okay. Well, 2 creatures in front. Okay. Well, hello, fairy. Goodbye, fairy.
Let me know when your turn ends.
All right, Big Blue.
I feel like this happens a lot. Okay, Big Blue, you take 6 points of
DC 14 deck.
DC 14 deck save, 6 points of force damage, or 0.
Hey, let's
No
go.
problem. I'm going to just put Barry right there
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah,
Okay, after Tiny is
Evan
Amador. He's guarding Pollyanna. Then Cyclops' turn. End of his turn, he gets to make another saving throw. Wisdom. Ooh. Is out of the laughter.
Okay, good to know.
So after that is one more swarm of bees appears, and now he kind of shakes the handle, and you think there's no more bees inside. So this third swarm's the last swarm. Maynard, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna dash back up by the Cyclops. Give him a little poke with my rapier. 16 for 22.
22. Okay, got it.
And then I'll use the rest of my movement to back up beside my pal Tiny G.
After Maynard, Jotaro.
All right, Jotaro is going to move. Get a clear shot to there, and take a shot at the giant. 22 for 18.
Got it.
And is he still prone?
Yeah.
17 for 8.
Got it. Big Blue.
The dead on the Cyclops now that he's not giggling.
You got him for 12.
12, and then I will spiritual weapon 7 points
Got it. And
of
then Portia.
force.
Your turn, Portia.
Okay. One back technically. I'm going to use my action to release the tail of the beguiler on the Cyclops. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. I don't know why it would be 15 and not 16, but
It's 2 times your bardic inspiration die, so it could be as little as 2, actually. Do you see how it rolled 2d8 and got 15?
Oh, that's the green number. Oh,
Yep.
okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay. I was looking at the 15 for the wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha.
I don't know why that wouldn't be 16,
Gotcha.
if that's my save DC.
If that's true, then all your saves are probably wrong. Let's see here. Charisma's +4, and your +3 for your proficiency, so your saves should all be DC 15s.
I think it's boosted because I'm wearing the drum.
The drum will increase the DC of your spells, but not your bardic inspiration saving throws.
Okay.
But maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Rhythm drum, bard spell DCs. Yeah. So only your spells will be 1 higher.
Okay. But this is not a spell.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. That makes total sense to me then. All right, cool.
After Portia is Tiny. So this Cyclops is getting up to 1 knee now, Tiny.
Okay, and it summoned another swarm. That's fine.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Let's summon a pixie in kind of like the same square that the weapon's in.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna rush down here, and the Cyclops broke the. Or no, it's still under.
It is not.
It is not good. Let's attack the Cyclops then.
Go for it.
With boom, 27
Ooh, nice.
for 14.
14. Okay.
25 for 17.
17. Got it.
That's a beefy roll. And the bonus action was for the fairy, so I will tip my a little butler hat and say, "Goodbye, fairy."
Fairy explodes, does d6 damage. Got dex saves all around. Cyclops might have made it.
It did.
Swarm made it.
Ah.
I'll move the fairy over here for now. After Tiny comes Amador guarding his bee. Then the swarm will swarm around Tiny, biting all over Tiny G. 18 to hit Tiny G. 11 piercing.
Sure does. So I'll take 5.
And then the Cyclops, enraged, wounded to like the inches of his life, blood pouring out of wounds all over, making the ground slippery by you, Tiny G. He attacks you with his great club, smashing down on top of Tiny G, who dodges out of the way at the last second. The stone splinters in the ground beside you, then he swings his great club down again. 23 this time for 11 bludgeoning.
Take 5.
After
Nice job there, Tom.
Thanks. Maynard, your turn.
Wow. 3d8 rolls 5.
All right, it seems like I got a chance to finish this one. So here it comes. Stabbing for just a meager 10.
10.
That seems like a miss.
Yep.
But you still get the D4, right? So
Oh, yeah.
12's a
probably
miss.
still misses.
All right, well, let's give a stab with the dagger here. That is a 13 plus 3, 16.
Oh, you can only use it once. I apologize. You can only use it once per turn.
Oh, okay. How was the 13 sound?
13 misses.
Oh, okay. Back it up
Okay.
a little bit.
After Maynard is Chitaro. Oh,
Chitaro's gonna
a
move.
13 misses, but a 19 doesn't miss.
Oh, and you got advantage because
And
he's
this
got fairy
guy's
fire.
all fairy fired up.
Ooh.
Oh,
So you would have done.
ING had to do a concentration though, right?
Ooh.
Yep. One concentration check,
got-
Shiny G. Two of them
I
actually.
got
DC 10
two
on
of them.
both.
Boom.
Oh no. I guess it was down.
No
Okay.
more.
Okay, so he wasn't fairy fired. And then Chitaro, your turn.
Okay.
I just want to get
Chitaro's gonna-
Chitaro the kill.
1, 2, 4. 5 to there, and longbow. 25 for 11.
11. The giant staggers, stumbles towards you, drops to a knee. The mountainside shakes and rumbles, and he falls all the way prone and unconscious. The bees disperse, and Amador rushes forward and shakes your hand, Jotaro.
Or shakes it back and says, "Your bee owes me one. Please tell me shortly how he intends to repay it."
So, what do you guys want to do? You're on your way to Lockbury Hedge. You ran across this Cyclops. He had a beehive with him looking for his queen bee. You search him, and he has nothing of value on him. Where do you want to go next?
ING, I'll give you a 11.
Oh, fantastic.
And just since I think I have my number wrong here, the thing that you did before our long rest that bolstered hit points doesn't persist, right? For this amount of time.
Correct.
For
It's 8
8
hours long.
8 hours. Okay, gotcha. Just remove that.
I'll do it like every morning.
Okay, so you got it back, Portia. Your hit points are 50 out of 50 now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have this dead giant here. He was carrying the beehive. You were going toward Lockbury Hedge. What do you want to do?
Can we search his pockets, or is that
You search his pockets and find nothing of value on him.
How big is the beehive?
Pretty big.
Like, can I use it as like a helmet, or is it bigger than that?
Probably be a bodysuit on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little
never
bigger
mind.
than that, yeah.
Is there
Never mind.
anything in there other than honey?
Nope, nothing in there.
What was that kid's from Fat Albert? Remember where it was just one giant toque with the eyes cut out?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me. No, kidding. No, I think, aren't we going to Stonehenge?
Yeah, I'd say we still go where we had originally planned.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
Okay. You head toward Lockbury Hedge and arrive there without difficulty. Let me move you guys there. Okay. Here you guys are. As you approach Lockbury Hedge, atop a boulder-strewn plateau stands a circle of megaliths, each about 20 feet tall and hewn from a different kind of rock. On the ground is a checkered game board with a stone crown-like playing pieces. The dying embers of a campfire are beside it.
Smart Cyclops.
What do you want to do,
Is the
Jotaro?
Cyclops' place?
Scout the area. Scout the area out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all follow behind Jotaro as far as you want. Jotaro scouting out the area. Make a survival check for me.
Just Shotaro or everybody?
Jotaro.
Okay.
All right, Jotaro, with your 25 survival, you're able to find tracks. 2 sets of small, hoofy footprints, like bipedal goats, that lead up to 2 separate stones. One set of footprints leads to this blue stone over here, and one set of footprints leads to this kind of off yellow stone over here. They come from the fire pit. Someone had stomped out the fire just before you arrived and walked like right into those stones. You don't see any tracks emerging from the other side of the stones. So they went inside the stones and did not emerge from what you can tell. The chess-like game that's happening here, anyone have any game training? Specifically like with chess or dragon
D&D.
chess?
No. Taro is
I don't
proficient
think I
with
do.
the pan flute.
Skin flute.
He'll crawl along with the pan flute around.
No one?
No.
Okay. There's a game of some sort, though none of you have ever played it. It looks to be played on a checkerboard pattern game board. It's got playing pieces that are 2 different colors, as if they were checkers, basically. However, they are depicting small stone dwarves on one side and small stone castles on the other side. Let's see here. Yeah, that is all you see with your group scouting around the top of this mountain. Anything specific you want to do?
Can I, because I have the innate ability to use fairy fire, can I cast fairy fire on the northern portal?
Yep.
Just to see if something's is hiding there.
Yeah. So a 20-foot cube, including the northern portal. Everyone go and put you guys where you want to be when you do that.
I think I'm on the chessboard. Let me see where my character is at.
Then once you're happy where you're standing, roll initiative.
Really? How do I move this?
Where did you say the tracks led to?
One led to this blue stone here, and one led to this like off yellow stone over here.
So that's where Jotaro will have gone, was to follow those tracks.
Aha, initiative checkers work in 8.
Oh yeah, sorry. Initiative.
Everyone good? Everyone rolled their initiative. Okay. You cast a spell on the stone, and then after you finish casting Tiny G, a dwarf, gray-skinned dwarf with steely, rope-like hair, steps out of the stone, and another one steps out of the stone by you, Jotaro. And they immediately take their hair and like coil it into lassos with an attempt to capture you. So we rolled initiative to see how fast you can react to them trying to capture you with their lasso hair. Portia, you go first.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna learn one of my tails. Okay. And I guess I would just prefer to call out. I guess I'm just going to attempt in Sylvan to be like, hold, we don't mean any harm. Please parlay with us instead of attacking.
Okay. Finish your move where you want, Portia. And then the Cora next to you, Tiny G, whistles. You can tell this one's slightly different than the other, although you can't make out a lot of their differences. But when it whistles, it may be female, you think. And as soon as it whistles, you can hear stones grinding all around the circle, like coming out of every one of these stones might be another creature like the ones that have arrived. That's its action. You don't see any of them are emerging yet. You just feel the stones kind of shaking and grinding. Big Blue, your turn.
I will not take a aggressive action, but I will put I'll put my emboldened bond on the people that are close. So Maynard, Jotaro, and Tiny G. Where are you at, Portia?
Off to the left.
Okay, yeah. So I'll put it on those guys.
So everyone who just got emboldened bond, remember, you need to remember to roll an extra d4 for an attack, a check, or a save. When you want to, you can only use it once per turn. So use it at your decision. Roll d4 when you want to add it to one of those attacks, checks, or saves once per turn. Okay, that's Big Blue. Then the other Cora that came out, it tries to lasso Jotaro. Tries to lasso its hair around you and then smash you with a club, Jotaro.
Oh, yeah.
So, 21 to hit you, Jotaro.
That hits.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, is it trying to lasso me first or hit me with a club first?
Lasso first, then club.
So was that the lasso?
Its lasso didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. So 16 damage?
16 points of bludgeoning damage. Then it smashes you with its great club again.
17 hits.
For 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, so...
And it's
they
done.
fucked around. Now they're going to find out.
Your turn, Jotaro.
Jotaro is going to bonus action rabbit hop.
Okay.
Back. And then he is going to shoot the one who just beat the shit out of him. First attack, 19 for 15.
15, got it.
Second attack is going to miss. 1, 2.
Half your turn.
3.
Amador is
Big Blue, you're our healer.
going to defend Pollyanna.
Right?
Maynard, your turn.
Maynard says, "Hey, pick on somebody your own size." Comes up and tries to stab this guy with his rapier.
That's a hit.
22 for 12.
Got it.
And then, well, he's distracted by that strike. He swings again with his dagger for 6 more.
Got it.
And then he darts back out of range.
Oh, shoot. Your rapier damage didn't quite do as much damage as you had hoped. Like, its skin was so strong, it resisted it a little bit. Your dagger cut it just fine. But your rapier did a little bit less damage to the tune of, let's see, that's 12, so it did 6 less damage. And Jotaro, you got a magic bow, right?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, so the rapier was the first weapon that didn't have full effect on him.
Okay.
After Maynard, Tiny G.
Okay. These things kind of hit hard. So let's go ahead and rage again. We got 2. Okay, teleport to a vacant space. I can see. Well, let's just go ahead and teleport right there, since we're already beaten down on this one. Now let's give it 2 whack. First one is 25 for 13. Other one is third crit of the night for 17.
Got it. Okay. The end of the round. Stepping out of the other stones come these guys. Add their initiatives. Okay, Portia. You see 6 more Koreds. You've seen how they are pounding the living daylights out of the people they attack. What do you want to do?
I guess I want to move away from the ones closest to me. And I still want to be like, stop the Witchlight Monarch demands it, and but also I think I just want to hold a if they continue to be aggressive, then I'm gonna hold a vicious mockery for the most damaged one.
After you comes the Koreds, the queen of the Koreds, you think, the one that was the first one to step out, and then who summoned all the rest of them. She will cast a spell on Jotaro, because she thinks it'll be funny. So Jotaro, she's going to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on you. It's an enchantment spell. Takes a verbal component from her, but no components from her, so it's not dispellable. You'll have to use all your movement, Jotaro, to dance in your space. You'll have disadvantage on dex saves and attacks. You'll grant advantage. It'll be an action to make a 13 wisdom save to negate the dance. So there's no save, you just start dancing. It takes your action to get rid of it. If you can make a save. Okay, so she did that, and that is actually concentration. And as you start dancing, Jotaro, she like dances in place, mimicking you and kind of making fun of you. And you see a couple other ones as you guys look around. they're dancing as well. In fact, they're all kind of dancing and making fun of Jotaro. Okay, she's done. Next, Kored.
Is it okay if I launch my vicious mockery?
Yeah.
Since they didn't stop
Yeah,
fighting?
go for it.
Okay.
Who you want to viciously mock?
This damaged one.
Damage
That's who I said.
Okay, wisdom saving throw. Made a save. Looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then the one to the south is coming out. Speed of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. He comes to here. He's going to smash Maynard with his great club. 24 Maynard for 25 points of damage.
I will evade that one.
Okay, so you only take 12. And then a second Kored Great Club is only at 15 to hit. Then, and this is Big Blue. Return.
All right. I will cast Cure Wounds on Jotaro. 9 healing there, buddy. And
Thank you.
I will. Can I free action to toss to flip the gaming board, or that's an action?
Just kick it? Yeah, you can just kick it.
No, I kick it. As I look at the one that Tiny G is engaged,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at him, kick the board, and toll the dead.
Okay. So did you do a Cure Wounds though already?
But isn't toll the dead a cantrip bonus action?
Not a
Is it
bonus
not
action. Not a bonus action.
Oh, that would have been great damage to a 16.
Yeah.
I just want to say that
I'll take my 9 points of healing back to let you do the 16.
No, not at all. Not at all. So that's all I will do.
Okay, Cord to the northwest closes down on Gleam and Amador and Squirt and Polly. They all cower as he tries to lasso him with his rope. And then Cord to the west does the same. And then Cord to the southwest closes on Portia.
Mm-hmm.
Smashes Portia with his club. 18 to hit you, Portia, for 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And then smashes at you again. 23 to hit for 12 bludgeoning damage. So you took 11 and then 12. And then Cord to the north of Maynard and Tiny G. Try and gang up on Tiny G here. Great club. 17 for 17, Tiny G.
Yeah.
And 26 for 24.
Wow. So 17 down to 8. 24 down to 12, so 20.
And then the one to your east, Tiny G, smashes at you with his great club. 23 for 15. And missed.
Oh, is the ground if... Okay.
It's if they're on the ground. As long as they're standing on solid ground, they do extra damage.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, it was
15.
23, 15.
Yeah.
Cool.
Chitaro, you are dancing.
I am. Can I make a performance check to really make a good dance?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I don't. No, okay. Well, then I'm pissed that she's making me dance badly because I know I can dance much better on my own. And she's the one who's concentrating. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. I'm going to bonus action Hunter's Mark and then attack with disadvantage.
Go for it.
Because I'm dancing. So that's going to be a 17 for 13.
Nice shot. That's still a hit. See, she does take psychic, so 13 damage. Here's her concentration check. Made it.
Second one is going to be a 25 for 14.
14, another DC 10 concentration check. Made it.
That's okay. Jataro's fine. He's going to just keep shooting her while dancing. And he flips her off as he does
Amador
it.
and Gleam are being carried away prisoner by the Koreds. Maynard, your turn.
Maynard's angry now, so he's going to strike first with his dagger. Oops, that was not the button I meant. And that's going to be 19 points of damage.
Wow, nice shot. 19, got it.
And then follow up with the right. And that is just 12.
12, which becomes 6. Got it.
Which becomes 6. And then I'm going to back up a little bit, but I'm done.
After you comes the last of the Koreds, the one to the due south here. So you can come up on 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big Blue, it's going to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on you, Big Blue. So you're dancing, and it's concentrating. And I'm going to put a 2 by it. Put 1 on hers. And for dancing feet, what are we going to use for that? There we go. 1 for you. And 2 for you. All right. It's done. Tiny G, your turn.
Oh, these guys are kind of hurting. But we push forward. Attack that one. Wow. 24 for 11 and another crit for 18.
Got it. After Tiny, round is over. Portia, your turn.
Okay. I think I'd like to move here. I'm going to activate my Tail of the Runaway on myself. Would 30 feet get me to the top of this rock?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to be on top of the henge. And then folks that I can see within that 30 feet of me can also use their reaction to immediately teleport. So I'd like to do that to the captured folks.
Okay.
And I guess that would potentially also be Maynard, Jotaro, and Big Blue if they want to move.
You can do 4 creatures, right?
Oh, yes, you're right. 4
do
creatures.
these
So,
guys, and then go 30 feet. So you want to get them like on the top of the rock or something?
yes, that would be awesome.
So they all teleport up to the top of the rock.
And then
to safety.
Okay, that's 3 people. No, that is 4 people in total.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Then yes, let's do that. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do 1 more. 6. And that's it.
After Portia, Koreds. Okay. The queen is concentrating on Jotaro dancing. She's going to sneak around to Maynard's flank, smash him with her great club. 20 Maynard for 17.
Okay.
And then the
Dodge
second
that
attack.
for half.
That's a miss. All right, then they're going to all gang up here on Tiny G.
Just where I want.
Great club. 17 for 18, Tiny G.
Uh-huh.
And then Big Blue, your turn. You're dancing. It's your movement. So all your movement's used for dancing. Then what else you want to do, Big Blue?
So I can use my action to do something, right?
Yep.
Okay. I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on the queen. Yep. So 9. That's my miss.
All right, yep. Nine's a miss on the queen. After Big Blue is Koreds. Okay, to the west. They glare up at Gleam and Amador. They look over at Portia. And they will pick up some rocks off the ground. So this one kind of picks up rocks as he's moving your way, Portia. Closes to within about 20 feet of you, or 30 feet of you, and then hurls these rocks at you. 22 to hit for 20 bludgeoning.
Woof.
And 23 to hit for 18 bludgeoning.
Are the temporary hit points not the same as the 5 that got added to the max hit points?
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Do you have
Okay.
temporary hit points from something?
Well, I think I didn't use them up in the last round. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Is that thing that happens every morning that Big Blue said?
The aid spell went off, so your hit points are 50 out of 50. Do you have temporary from something else?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was something that Big Blue did that
No.
increased hit points and added 5 temporary hit points.
No.
Okay, then never mind.
So did that knock you unconscious?
Yes.
Okay, he hits you with a glancing blow to knock you unconscious, but not dying. So you're sitting, you're knocked out on top of that rock
Draped.
there. Yep. Okay. That's that Korred. And then this Korred here. He picks up a rock and looks back at Gleam and Amador and glares at them like, "Don't you dare." So that's his turn, just intimidating those two. And then we got a Korred here to the southwest of Jotaro. Is going to step up right in between Jotaro and Maynard and try and smack Jotaro. Actually, Jotaro's dancing. He's going to save him for last. Maynard first. Multi-attack. Great Club of Maynard. 13 missed and 18 Maynard for 19 damage.
Ouch.
And then Cord on Tiny G. Great Club. Miss and miss. Both miss. And then Korred east of Tiny G is going to disengage because Tiny's fighting viciously. So he's going to disengage and move down. Let's see. So he moves underneath the stone here and seems to blend in so you can't see where he's at. Jotaro, your turn. You're muted if you're talking, Josh.
I was talking, and I had a lot of really amazing things to say that you guys will never get to hear now. I'm going to attack the
darn.
queen with disadvantage. Oh, man. If only I didn't have disadvantage. That's only going to be a 12 to hit. So I'm sure that's going to miss. But this one's a 17 for 17 damage.
17 on the queen? Ooh. Not happy about that. She's done toying with you. 17 damage. Concentration check, DC 10.
Ah. All
Okay.
right, that's my turn.
That's it for Jotaro. They're over there facing down that Korred. Maynard, your turn.
Okay, I'm getting beaten up pretty bad here. So I am going to disengage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to drink a potion of healing for 7 hit points. And then I'm going to try and dash and climb up on this standing stone.
Okay, it's 20 feet up. You don't have to make a check, but it is double movement for climbing.
Okay, well, I'll only get part of the way up.
Okay. Then, the Korred that was making Big Blue dance. Queen says, "Knock out that rabbit." He comes here and smashes Jotaro. 19 for 19, Jotaro.
Yep.
24 for
Oh, hold on, let me
20.
make a... well, okay, well, never
It won't
mind.
matter
I'm
for
just
that
going to go
one.
unconscious. Yeah.
Okay, he's
I'm
done.
going to go unconscious.
Tiny G, your turn. And he just knocks you
All right.
out. He doesn't try to kill you.
Let's go ahead and bonus action teleport because that's part of the rage to right there. Move there, and we're gonna attack the plane. First attack is a 11.
Miss.
How about a 17?
That hit.
Oh, for 8.
And concentration check. Nope. And then rounds over and
What was
pushes.
she concentrating
He's already
on?
down. Jotaro's down. So
I know. Yeah. Portia's unconscious, and then Corad attacking the Queen, attacking Tiny G. She says, "Everyone, get on this guy." Multi-attacking, great club. 18 for 14, Tiny.
Huh?
28 for 15, Tiny.
Uh-huh.
Following his Queen's orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He runs there. Smashes Tiny with a great club. 25 for 18.
Uh-huh.
22 for 17.
Oh!
Knocks Tiny out. He's done. Big Blue, what do you want to do?
There's got to be a peaceful solution. But we tried to give up and they attacked anyways. All right.
Did you? Did someone try and give up?
Yeah, Portia did a few times.
No, I don't think so.
Oh. Well,
Well, I requested peace.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, you did that.
Well,
You
I'm
never
gonna.
surrendered.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my action, and I don't know if I can do it within my action. I'm gonna take the board, and I'm gonna start playing chess
Okay.
in the middle of combat.
The board you kicked.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
So you're
take
gathering
the
the
board,
pieces
put
together?
it back up, and
Okay.
then put the pieces on. Maybe sit down, and that just like ignore everything around me, and just slowly put them on there.
This
You know,
one
like
comes
the
to
guy at the rodeo.
this one comes to throw rocks at you, Maynard. He yells at you to get down. Do you get down, or is he going to throw rocks at you? You're like a little kid climbing his tree. He doesn't like it.
I guess I'm gonna take my punishment here.
Okay. Hurls a rock at you, 20 for 19.
And I drop unconscious.
Down
at the
goes
foot
Maynard.
of
Okay.
The,
So they all
Tombstones.
circle around Big Blue, and the Queen steps forward to Big Blue, and she says, "What are you doing here? Why did you ruin our game?" The other ones drag the various characters over. This one keeps an eye on those guys up there.
Actually, we came to seek your aid in dealing with Lazy Lynn. So,
What aid do you want from us? What deals do you want to make with the hag?
we don't want to make. Oh wait, do you guys work with the hag? Are you?
Do you work with the hag?
No, I do not work with the hag at all.
You don't.
If you look at this board where I'm playing this game, I'm on this side and the hag is on the other side. So if that puts me opposite to you, then so be it. But I'm not in concert with the hag at all. So
Why are you here then?
from what I understand, you're a very powerful group of individuals in this land. And if one is going to go against the ruler or the inappropriate ruler of this land, it's best to seek out the most powerful queen of the land, right? Which I thought was you. So,
Well, it's not me, but we haven't seen the Queen lately.
what's the name of the queen?
You
Or
tell,
is that
you
secret?
you tell me.
Well, I'm just a simple fairy. So, I point to Portia. Actually, she's the keeper of all the information, right? So
It's Sabelda.
it's Sibylna.
It's on my chest, like in
It's
Princess
Sibylna.
Bride, and it'll come out.
Yeah. It's caw. Sibylna. Well, I mean, do you want the bigger story? I mean, I was charged to come from the weird land over there, on the other side of the beacon, to look for Sibylna. And from what I understand, she's been sequestered by the three hags of the land. So we're working our way around, setting what's wrong right, and putting things back to peace. So
She quizzically looks at you. and then kind of nods her head and says, I think I can trust you.
Oh, I'm super trustworthy.
We are enemies of Bitter End.
You are?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We can no longer hold our gatherings at the Henge because of Bitter End's meddling.
Mm.
I've instructed my fellow Koreds to stay hidden as much as possible, to ensconce themselves in stone, thus remaining relatively safe for the foreseeable future. Bitter End used iron shears to cut off locks of some of our hair. She fashions hair into iron ropes and uses them to manipulate her theater's infernal contraptions. She has a contraption there called the Orrery of Tragedies, to glimpse all possible futures. Copper rods, and the Kored points to the mountaintops around where the lightning dances occasionally. Copper rods on the mountaintops of Yon capture lightning and channel it into this device of hers.
How easy is it to knock down those copper rods?
It's not easy. As you're talking, the rest of you start to kind of come to, Jotaro and Taiji and Portia and Maynard, so you hear the last bit of conversation that's happening between Big Blue and the Kored Queen when you hear pickaxes tapping on stone, carried on the wind. The Koreds grind their teeth and stamp their hooves at the faint sound. Queen Argantel runs to a boulder, picks it up, and hurls it 100 feet in the direction of the noise, while she screams, "Death to the Briganox!" A peal of thunder accompanies this display of anger. "What is a Briganock, you ask?" she says.
Yes.
They are helping Bitter End build wicked contraptions. They also hide and guard schematic diagrams for new contraptions in their minds. We can't stand the noise of their mining, so we have crafted statues and left them outside the mine's interest, hoping to drive these fell little fae away, but they haven't left yet. Gelabdur, who work for us, have infiltrated the mine and overheard several Briganoks talking about a secret tunnel that connects the mine to Motherhorn.
Secret tunnel.
The tunnel is hidden by Briganock magic, though. The noise of the mining passes. The Koreds come to lift each of you up onto your feet. And
if we take care of the Briganoks, would you assist us against the hag?
We would. I apologize for smashing you. You were quite the dancer.
He
I can do better.
Well, let us see it then.
All right, I'm going to try.
Can I give you guidance?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
So that's 15 plus guidance.
So she starts dancing alongside you, elated at the prospect of your assistance. She drums her hooves on the ground and begins what might be the first Kored ceremonial dance here since the rise of the Hourglass Coven. She summons the other Kored leaders so that they can join in. 2 Koreds drum on boulders as the others stomp their feet and jump around. The rain abates and the sky lightens. With wild grins and wilder hair, the dancing Koreds beckon you to join them, those of you who haven't already joined, as they dance around with Jotaro. So any of you who wants to join, you can do a charisma performance check or a strength athletics check as you come and mimic their dancing, which is more athletics based.
I use my inspiration too.
I will as well. Follow your lead.
What was the guidance for me, Portia?
Oh, D4?
Yeah, do you want to roll it for me or do you want me to roll it?
You can roll it.
Okay. 19.
Nice.
Yeah. Told you Jotaro could do better.
Nice. Jotaro, Portia are dancing. Anyone else want to dance? Big Blue's dancing. Nicely done, Big Blue. 2 more to go.
I'm going to dance. I'm a
Maynard.
triple threat here.
You can dance if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving my friends behind.
No.
Tiny will do the strength based
Got it.
Haka dance.
It is the Haka.
17.
13.
Okay. So the Taiji or Maynard, that's a 12. Is that what you got?
Unless I don't know if he used his inspiration or
I
not.
don't think I heard it.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
that's a
I
12.
didn't go
12. Okay.
down. I didn't go down, and it's still been 10 minutes. So
Oh.
so you might still have emboldened bond.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
that.
happens. I think it's tied to. Yeah, that helps.
13.
There you
13.
go.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. The Chorids, finally, when the dancing stops, they show you all but Maynard, who doesn't quite understand how it works. They show the rest of you a special jig, which, when performed, taking action, allows you to manipulate any Chorid hair you find in Motherhorn, as if using the Chorid's command hair trait. And the Chorids have told you that their hair has been used for the rigging of the various staging in Motherhorn. And the command hair feature, they can command their hair to move up to 20 feet, to entangle a large or smaller creature they see, who then has to make a 13 dex save or become grappled. So you could take like the rigging lines and grapple creatures with it. And then if you were to die or become incapacitated or use a bonus action, you can release the target from being entangled by your hair. So they have taught each of you to do a special jig to command Chorid hair to do this, and there's a lot of that in Motherhorn.
Okay.
And they will guide you to where the Briganox live.
Perfect. I will. Am I still
Now,
dancing?
You might want to take a short rest here to get some hit points back.
Well, so before we do the short rest, I'm going to cast 3rd level Beacon of Hope.
Okay.
And then I am going to fly around my party twice. Right? But it doesn't matter for the roll, because now that I have Beacon of Hope, it's max healing. So everybody gets healed. If I understand it right, everybody gets healed 16 points, 32 points of 32 hit points.
Wow.
Right? So it's...
That is correct. And then you can take a short rest after that.
And then I get them all back, because they're short rest based.
Except for the Beacon of Hope.
Except for the Beacon of Hope is just a spell.
Amazing, though. Thank you.
I love it. And now it dies.
And is there a Song of Rest?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Boop.
Nailed
For
it.
2 hit points.
Hey, it's all you need sometimes.
And Portia, during the short rest, you want to do a couple more cards?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, they're way far away from here. Let me just do my hit dice just real quick.
Okay, they're right there. So you don't think Charlatan, that's to you guys. You don't know what Miser might apply to still yet.
And I'm sorry, that increased max hit points is still around?
The aid spell is still going, yeah.
Okay.
So you could get healed all the way to 50.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, no.
So yeah, go ahead and do your cards after you're done healing.
All right.
The cards are, yeah. Okay, you got Missionary. And what's that one apply to?
This one is supposed to be the present.
The present, okay.
Okay, and this is Those who spread wisdom and faith to others, warnings of the spread of fear and ignorance. And then the next card, which would be the future, is the mist.
The mists. You've passed through the mists here already twice. You don't know if it's the same mists as a tarot card would imply, but each one of the realms of Prismere is separated by these mists, and it seems like you can't pass through them unless you have a guide to take you through. Okay, y'all healed up. You're heading toward the Brigand Dock Mine. You're leaving right here. And on your way to the mine, you come across a strange wagon. Similar to, oops, did I move that down there? There we go. Strange wagon, similar to this guy right here. A wooden pageant wagon truddles toward you on squeaky wheels. It moves by itself at a speed of about 20 feet and is accompanied by a tall figure, swathed in long robes, with a cowl hiding his face. The wagon is painted with stormy, windswept landscapes and carries a puppet theater with black velvet curtains drawn across it. It stops near you, and the curtains pull back with dramatic flair to reveal a painted backdrop that matches the Stonehenge that you just left. There's marionettes on the stage, and they look suspiciously like each of you. They begin to reenact the scene from your fight with the Koreds. Each of the marionettes being smashed by a Kored, one by one. But there's much more blood in this version of it. Red, like cloth-like things come out of every part of their body as they're smashed into bits onto the ground.
How's the Jotaro puppets dancing?
And Jotaro puppets dancing. The play lasts for about 3 minutes, and then ends with a scene that shows you all standing back up and then standing around a tiny replica of the pageant wagon. A banner emblazoned with the words "To be continued" unfurls in front of the scene. Then the curtains close. From the folds of its robes, the hooded figure presents a document to each of you one at a time. It's a ticket with a tiny puppet resembling you painted on it. Written under this effigy in script that you understand are the words, "Good for one private audience with Edelyn Moongrave. No strings attached." After the invitations are handed out, the wagon and its attendant disappear abruptly. So yeah, you each are sitting there with one ticket to see Edelyn Moongrave.
At her theater of her macabre theater.
Wonderful.
Okay. You continue your travels. Before you get to the mines, you come to a kite, as in this location here. You see a goblin child, maybe 2 feet tall, in overalls, flying a kite on a blustery plateau. The kite is alive. It has a hideous face stretched over its diamond-shaped frame, and it cackles in the wind. It's got about a 40-foot-long string, and there's 5...
So it looks like...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
There's 5 blue bows tied along the length of the string at about even intervals. They start about 5 feet from the end of the string and end about 5 feet from the kite. So 40-foot-long string, 5 bows. The kite's got a hideous face. It's cackling. The goblin child is struggling to hold on to the kite string. And when the goblin child sees you, it speaks to you, or it yells out to you, which you can barely hear over the taunts of the kite. The little goblin child says, "My arms are so very sore. I don't want to fly this kite anymore. But if I let go of this string, Creeping Lynn says I'll become an old thing. The curse comes from these 5 blue bows, but they won't come off while the wind blows." Little goblin child flying a kite. Blue bows in the kite.
5 blue bows.
A scepter anywhere?
No scepter, no.
Alright.
But I bet you if we release.
I asked the goblin if I could help hold the kite for him with that.
No. If you take it before the bows are undone, I'll grow old.
All right. Well, I said, what will we ever do? And I kind of lean back against the rock. Oh, but I can't lean all the way back because I have wings. Oh, well, I'll just fly up the string. Can you guys tie some rope to my waist? Because this never works well. So
the kite is cackling and taunting the little goblin child. He's like cringing from it.
You know what? Wait, let me do something. I'm gonna cast silence on the. On the.
You can see a little bit of spirit return to the little goblin child as the kite's taunts are ended briefly, as it is.
Blow a raspberry at the kite. Reaction. And then I'll fly up. I'll tie a rope and then just hand it to somebody.
Something else happens.
Uh-oh.
As the kite's silenced, you can see the little goblin child's mood improve. And as the goblin child's mood improves, the wind begins to die down. And it seems to be correlated to the goblin child's mood. The happier it gets, the less the wind blows.
Let me see what I got here. I mean, I'd offer it a bump of pixie dust, but probably
just a key bump.
Just a little something to get the mood going.
Right.
I will offer. I'm going to play my panpipes for him and dance a little funny jig for him.
Okay. The little goblin child's move improves further. The wind abates even more. The kite falls down to the ground.
All right.
And now you can untie the bows.
Yeah. I'll quickly untie the bows. And what I think will happen is I'm untying the bows, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to everybody, but then I'm in the cone of silence.
Yeah.
So I'm like going into this long discussion about, trickle down economics and what's the anyways, my son's a econ major. I can't remember. He just goes on and on and on.
Voodoo economics.
Voodoo. That's
anyone? Voodoo. Bueller.
Yeah.
Was that something Baker that came up with that? Or was he defense minister? I don't know. Defense secretary. Anyway, so yeah, the strings are unattached. The kite just lays there angrily. When your silence spell ends in 10 minutes? Is that how long that is?
Yes, sir.
Well, you can destroy the kite if you like, or throw it out into the wind to let it blow away, or wait till the silence is up. What do you want to do?
This kid doesn't want it anymore, right?
No. The kid introduces itself. My name is Fina, it says, and I don't want to go back to Motherhorn. Creeping Lynn's there, and she made me fly the kite. There's a cave I saw nearby. I can hide there. And I think I saw some moss and some lizards I could eat.
Oh, you're a goblin. That's literally the equivalent to like donut. Ever. Yeah, like donuts and all that kind of stuff. All the crackers and peanut butter you can eat. Yeah, okay. So, can I ask you a question? Yeah. So, go hide out there. We'll take care of Lazy Lynn. Because I like that name better because I'm really bad at names. But I gotta ask, you don't by chance have a scepter?
No. Like
Inside check.
no, but she's thinking.
Okay.
Are you friends with
They're-
another goblin that might have a scepter as part of their funny act?
There is a
Exactly.
goblin
Mhm, mhm.
who has a scepter, who works for Bitter End.
You can't remember her name either.
Yeah, who
It's not
works for
just me.
Bitter End. He is kind of her like stage director.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You'll always find him around the stage somewhere. His name is Stage Fright.
Oh wow.
He wears jester's costumes, and his scepter looks like a clownish-looking goblin face.
Okay.
Do you have any idea on why that could be useful in defeating the hag?
No, I don't.
What did the
Fair enough.
scepter? What did the scepter? Do you guys remember what the scepter from the Witchlight carnival? Didn't Mr. Hand or Mr. Light have a scepter?
Yes.
well.
We chose to steal the watch instead of the scepter.
But what did the scepter look like? And look, I thought it was like the face or something.
It had like a butterfly end that spun
Oh,
around,
okay.
depending on the
Okay.
mood of the carnival.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. These aren't tied. This is just a
No,
coincidence.
no.
Okay.
Before you leave Bina in her goblin grotto,
Oh.
she reaches into her overalls and pulls out a pendant that shows the phases of the moon. She says,
Cool.
"I stole this from Bitter End.
Thievery.
You can have it. Thank you for saving me."
I think. Would you like a to keep your mood light? Would you like this thimble?
She
If you put it on, you can daydream.
she nods her head enthusiastically.
Well, here you are. You have this, and then hopefully that keeps your mood pleasant. And I've snapped the kite into 1,000 pieces, and I'm going to use it as tinder.
Nice.
I've added it to my tinder box,
Okay.
so don't you have to worry about that.
As you're
So-
doing that, your sweet little
Goblin
goblin looks
attacks me.
scared at the sky behind you, and a dark tornado forms and careens towards you. The goblin hides in the bottom of the cave, but there's not room for all of you in there. You look for the best places you can hide in time, but you're all going to have to make a strength saving throw as the tornado descends upon you quickly. It's a DC 17 strength saving throw.
Oh, that's pretty high.
It is pretty high.
Can I give myself
And-
guidance?
Can you
That
center
doesn't
us?
help saving throws, unfortunately.
Tom, can you center us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, that would be helpful.
I knew where you were.
Look,
Where
there's
we
no
were?
tornado here. Sorry.
And we had advantage on this, right?
You do have advantage. Wait, no, you don't.
Oh,
Oy.
Oh boy.
maybe.
Chitaro and Portia swept up.
Well, luckily one of you guys just tied to me. He said strength,
Strength saving throw, DC 17.
and I've already used my inspiration, so
Yeah.
bam,
Boom.
13.
You are all swept up in this tornado. It roils and spins around the mountains. Each of you takes 10 points of force damage as you actually, let's see here. Chitaro, you have a 8 on your save. So, Jotaro, you also lose one item you're carrying. Just pick one of the ones you like that's easily ripped out of your hands or off your body.
Your bow.
No, I mean, I'm confident that Jotaro was trying to surreptitiously take a bump of pixie dust when this happened. So
it does not have to be a magical item. It can be one non-magical item is lost.
It's going to be the pixie dust.
It can be that if you like. Portia, you lose an item. Big Blue, you lose an item. Maynard and Tiny G, you need to make strength saving throws.
But by the way, when the pixie dust goes out of his hands, it like flies everywhere. So everyone gets a little bit of pixie dust in their face, and everybody, it's like one of those, comedy things where the bag of drugs poof everywhere, and then everybody's like, ugh! He said 10 damage.
10 damage to everyone, including Tiny G and Maynard, but Tiny G and Maynard, you guys don't lose anything.
I lose my single glass slipper.
Oh, you know what? I have your other glass slipper, I think. Or maybe that's my other character.
This is going to Kansas.
No, that's my half-elf warlock who played last week. As a glass slipper.
All
it's going to be very sad that you lost yours.
Little Red probably has something cool.
The tornado deposits you separated from your Core-Ed guide somewhere in the mountains. So now you're going to find your way back out of the mountains on your own. Why don't you make a survival check, Jotaro? Oh, and Amadon and Gleam are also separated from you, so you're not sure where they are. Hopefully you'll catch back up with Amadon since he's your guide out of here.
17.
Okay. You're able to get kind of back toward the Brigandock mine, you think. On the way, a procession of goblins shuffles into view, solemnly ringing handbells. They wear headdresses made from animal skulls like badgers and wolves and rams, and they're further adorned with necklaces of dangling bones. They're like a procession of like clerics. They sound their bells as they walk. They see you, and they wave. Any of you speak Goblin?
No. I wave back, though.
Let me double check.
The international sign for
yes, Jotaro speaks Goblin.
Nice. Okay.
Hey.
So random.
They say, for one trinket, we can ring the dead for you and answer their questions.
What do they want as a payment?
A trinket of some sort. Something
really
neat.
Can I offer them one of the weird ass toys that we got from the last Hag's house?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do that.
Okay. They take your toy, they nod in appreciation of it, and they start ringing their bells when they form a circle. After about a minute of the clamor of their bells ringing, you see first Portia, being familiar with such things, a ephemeral spirit of a Core-Ed rise up out of the stone. The spirit, they say, will answer questions that you put to it. What are your questions, they ask.
How many questions do we get? No, that's not the question I asked, but does anybody know how many questions we get?
You get 3. They'll answer 3 questions.
You want to ask about to Jotaro's kind of line of reasoning, do you want to ask about the scepter? I'm not quite sure what the cat has to do with things. Do you want to ask those kind of questions?
Oh, right.
You don't have much time, they say. and they look toward one of you. Maynard, what is your question?
How do we get the scepter?
He says there is a goblin in the service of Bitter End who carries it. Tiny G, what is your question?
They're in a. Give me a sec.
Jotaro, what is your question?
Where is Bilna?
She is in her palace. Portia, what is your question?
What is the significance of the cat that the goats mentioned?
Bitter End has lost her cat.
Oh.
The goblins thank you for employing them, and they begin moving away, ringing their bells as they do. I don't know how you know this, but they are known as the Dead Ringers.
Everybody's got a catchy name in the
Yes,
Feywild.
Yeah. All right, and then
It's really Edward, but for
you come to Briganock Mine, which is on the map. This right here.
oh, I thought that was the castle
The castle's
Is the castle-
actually right here.
with the amphitheater.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that's the castle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Briganock Mine.
I feel like we're going away from the castle, and this tunnel's gonna be much longer than if we would have just walked up to the front
Straight up
gate.
to the castle. Okay, you hear the sound of hundreds of tiny pickaxes. The same sound you heard on the wind that made the Koreds so mad. Hammers chipping away at stone. Tiny little pickaxes and hammers chipping away at stone. It emanates from the mouth of a cave that has fingers of rock reaching skyward above it. I have a picture of this for you here. So here's the picture. Also, I can do that. Fingers of rock reaching skyward above it. Statues of irate, hairy creatures with cloven hooves, Koreds, are positioned so that they lean around trees and peer over boulders, all staring balefully at the cave entrance.
I don't like the look of that.
So they were placed here by the Koreds. The Koreds told you they put them here because they want the Briganocks to leave. Briganocks must be inside that cave mouth.
Like an episode of Fraggle Rock, a little bit. Yeah, I got it. What were the little people called? What were the little people called in Fraggle Rock?
I don't know.
Fraggles?
No, the little ones that build stuff with the little hammers.
Oh, no clue.
No clue. All right.
I just remember Fraggle Rock was on HBO, and I loved it. And now I associate the old classic HBO where you go inside the circle of the O with Fraggle Rock, because as a kid, that's what I got excited about.
Well, we'll go inside Fraggle Rock unless anybody has objections or want to do anything. I say let's go in Fraggle Rock.
As soon as you guys step inside the cave, the tapping noise stops. The mine is a twisting labyrinth of 8-foot tall, 3-foot wide tunnels that go off in all directions, most of which corkscrew down into the ground. When you begin moving again, the sound of hammering resumes. It's coming from deep down in the depths. After about 10 minutes of navigating the mine, going ever deeper, you are overcome with sleepiness. Need you each to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 19, or fall asleep.
Oof, that's high.
Maynard goes out. Jotaro made it.
Yeah, just of course, Taro hasn't slept in 3 days, and probably won't sleep for another 2.
Tiny's out, and Big Blue's out.
Yep.
So all the little ones,
Oh.
all the little guys are sleeping.
Oh, tuckered
They're
out.
so cute.
Our little constitutions
so cute.
can't take it.
So you
Can I
guys,
attempt to pat their cheeks?
the two of you, Portia and Jotaro, fight off the sleepiness. You notice that your friends are falling asleep around you.
Why is this happening?
And you can't wake them. Nothing wakes them up. I mean, you could try lots of things, but assuming you don't do anything that's like going to kill them, nothing wakes them up.
I mean, I do some stuff. They just they'll never know.
There might be some cocaine involved too.
Try it.
After about 5
It's always
minutes,
works for me.
after about 5 minutes, you hear some movement. You see coming down the tunnel 8 tiny little creatures, each one of them pushing a tiny little wheelbarrow. Let's see here. They look like this. They look like this guy. I put over in the chat there. Almost like a little rodent humanoid with white hair, little tiny pickaxes.
Kobolds from World of Warcraft.
Yeah. And they have like a glowing light that follows them. Little wisp of glowing light. They're pushing tiny wheelbarrows, and you can see that inside the wheelbarrows are ropes and pitons, as if they were coming to like tie you all down. When they see that you're awake, they look surprised, turn their wheelbarrows around, and start walking back the way they came.
You saying, Sylvan, wait, halt.
They don't halt. Do you want to follow them?
We can't leave our friends.
Can we?
But they're
carry
tiny.
them?
Can we just put them in our pockets?
You want to rush up and grab them?
Oh, those guys are, even tinier. Yeah, I'm going to rush up and grab one of them.
You start hopping forward, and they turn a corner, and you see standing there a tall, slender human, clad in dark leather armor. Their friendly face is brightly illuminated by a tiny wisp of light that floats next to a mouse-sized creature, these things, perched on the human's shoulder. The human says, "Greetings, trespassers. Didn't anyone ever teach you to knock?" And this is what the figure looks like. Right below the picture I showed you before, and I'll blow it up on the screen for you. That's who you see.
You know it's a cave. It's not like there's a door to knock on.
The figure is wearing like studded leather armor, has some very sharp blades. They you notice. See, what's your passive perception, Jotaro?
It is 15.
15. Nice. Okay. You notice that in addition to the briganock that's on its shoulder, there are 2 more. One tucked comfortably in its belt pouch, and another one peering over the rim of its left boot. The person you see there says, "Well, I suppose you have a point there. What are you doing?
Have many points there."
What are you doing here?
Honestly, were we trying to stop the mining for the
Koreds told you the following. They said the Briganocks are helping Bitter End build wicked contraptions. They also hide and guard schematic diagrams for new contraptions in their mine. The Koreds can't stand the noise of them mining. They sent a Gelobdur in to infiltrate the mine, and that creature overheard several Briganocks talking about a secret tunnel It connects to the Motherhorn.
Oh, yeah, we were hoping to use the tunnel and maybe get you guys to, keep it down a little bit. Pretty loud. Probably
For the sake of the local Chorids.
Yeah, violating some noise ordinances here.
You are in league with the Chorids?
We're in league with the Sealy Court.
What's the Sealy Court?
Sealy Court as the rulers of the Feywild. Well, they should be.
So are they like hags?
So there's not very many hags are members of the Sealy Court. I imagine that if I thought about it, there'd probably be one or two. But for the most part, the Archfey that are of a more goodly bent are members of the Sealy Court. Hags tend to gravitate towards the Unsealy Court.
Are you not from here, that you are not familiar with the ways of the Feywild?
No, I'm new here. Now, you know that the Chorids give Creeping Lynn locks of their magic hair. She uses
not willingly. Sorry.
Make a charisma persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
21.
21.
You mean the Chorids aren't in league with Bitter End?
They are not.
No, they very much wish that she would not disrupt their way of life.
She, Creeping Lynn, kidnapped our best architect, who now toils in Motherhorn for her, designing new contraptions for the hag. We were told that the Chorids provided the hag the locks of their magic hair, which he used. The Briganox work their mind at all hours because they know the noise aggravates the Chorids.
Well, now that you know that the Chorids are not in voluntary league with Bitterroot, do you think that the little World of Warcraft kobolds can knock this shit off?
Maybe. And maybe I can tell you where the secret route to Motherhorn is, if you can complete a test.
And what was your name? Sorry?
My name is Molliver.
How'd you come to be here, Molliver?
I'm a member of a group of adventurers. Valor's
What's
Call.
We met one of your companions.
Who? Who did you meet?
And I say the dwarf's name.
Elkhorn.
That obviously,
Elkhorn is who you met.
Yes. Elkhorn.
Huh.
Yeah. Good friend.
I thought they were all in Zybilna's palace by now.
He was captured by one of the hags, but we freed him.
Oh, good.
He owes me one.
Well, you better collect soon because he's getting pretty old. I assume the other members of Valor's Call are safe at Zybilna's palace. You haven't met them, have you? You haven't seen any of them, have you?
No, he's the only member. And you now.
Well, be careful. They're chasing a pack of villains called the League of Maledicents.
We ran into one of them as well. But we put paid to him, sent him running with his tail between his legs. Figuratively speaking, he didn't actually have a tail. Best people have tails, and I show off. Jataro shows off his tail.
Tiny little bushy one.
Yeah. But,
I almost hate to make you go through the test, but I guess you have to. To pass the test, you must cross Riven Wish Chasm, a gash in the earth into which the Briganox hurl malignant wish stones. We will lead you through the tunnels to the chasm, but you must pass it by yourself. So they lead you down through the tunnels. After your friends are all fully woken.
Oh, I was going to say, are we still asleep?
No.
What was, does Molliver know what caused the sleepiness to begin with? Were they
it's a power the Briganox have.
Ah.
It's gas.
And what was the name of the chasm?
The Rivenwish Chasm, which is right here. You have to cross that bridge to the other side. If you can make it, there is one there who can tell you where the secret tunnel is.
Big tunnel.
All right. Jotaro
Big
sets
Blue,
off.
do you just want to,
Just
do
start
our floating thing?
hopping across. Okay, Jotaro.
Yeah.
Put your guy like right there. Everyone else put you where you want to be when Jotaro gets about 1/4 of the way across. I'll put him right there, actually. There's no real handholds here. But it's pretty wide. It's more than 5 feet wide. So as disconcerting as it is, you'd think it's relatively safe. It looks very sturdy, for sure. The chasm is disconcerting. Maybe 200 feet down to glowing purple. The far side looks to be a grotto full of stalactites and stalagmites. All right, so you hop across. Molliver's watching you from the back with the Briganox. And when you get to there, all of a sudden, rising up from underneath you, are two, they're green here, but they're actually like blackish flames, two skulls with blackish flames come out from underneath the bridge and rise up above the bridge to there. And roll initiative, everyone.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Tiny G's a flyer.
Looks like
I was like, why is
There we
why's
go.
Tiny G off the bridge? That makes sense.
All right. The first flame skull. First flame skull. Utters some arcane words, and then a little ball of flame streaks forward and then explodes over the top of you guys. Right there, catching everyone but Maynard within a fireball.
Woof.
So it's 34 fire damage. DC 13 dex save for half.
Good.
Half of 34 is 17, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Half 34 is 17, yep. Wow, did everyone save? Only Maynard's left. Dex save.
Well,
Maynard.
he was not
he
in
wasn't
it.
even in it. Yeah. Okay, so you all took only 17 fire. That flame skull is done. Portia, your turn.
Okay.
So these flame skulls, you can see them, they're about 20 feet above the bridge. So it's going to take ranged weapons to get to them.
Right, gotcha. If I just say out loud, I wish I was on the other side of the bridge, does anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Okay. Let's see. What do I have that is long distance? Is it okay if I temporarily share place with Big Blue?
No. You can't cast a spell from there if you want to. Big Blue is... Well, he's not flying. So, no, you have to back up one.
Okay.
If you want to cast a spell from there.
Oh.
Big Blue has soft feet, so Big Blue always flies, even if it's only 2 inches above the ground.
Just a light hover.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
call it the lazy hover.
I'm gonna attempt to Dissonant Whispers, one of them? Let's see what happens. The one over here, I guess.
Uh-oh.
6 points of psychic damage to that thing. It does take psychic. It will use its reaction to move as far as the speed allows from you. Moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. All right, after Portia. Big Blue.
All right. I
I use my
will.
bonus action to trigger a tail, by the way.
Okay.
That's it.
31, 2. So I'm going to fly here, then here, then here, and I will get Portia, Shotaro, and Tiny G. Well, those are all really horrible rolls. Those are all ones. So I heal each of you for that amount of, just in case another one of these skulls blows up.
What was the order again?
Portia, Chitaro, Big Blue.
Yeah.
Taiji.
I mean, Tiny G, yeah.
After Big Blue, Chitaro.
All right. Chitaro is going to bonus action, Hunter's Mark the injured flame skull.
Okay.
And then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Rabbit Hop.
Rabbit Hop's also a bonus.
Okay, yeah, but I know. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I was in range.
6. So let's move straight. And then longbow. That's going to be 26 for
hit.
12.
Let's see here. It
Unless it
resists piercing damage, even magic piercing. It does
Okay.
take psychic, so it's going to take 5, 6 total damage.
Is the Hunter's Mark piercing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's going to be 17, so half of that's 8.
8 more. Got it. Okay. After Jotaro, Maynard.
Okay, Maynard is going to dash across the bridge as far as he can go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. And then fire short bow. That would be furthest flame skull.
18 is a hit.
So that's just 5, I believe.
That's correct. So 2. Okay.
2.
Maynard.
Take that.
Amador is no longer around. Tiny G, your turn.
Let's double move to down there.
After Tiny G, the next Flame Skull. He will loose a fireball.
Now, does fireball have to impact like a solid point?
No. Looses a fireball to here, getting the 3 of you in the back there in it. That is going to do 31 fire damage to you 3. DC 13 dex save for half.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
So we know it'd be really good is to pass out
This is where
200 feet above.
this is where you realize maybe flying's not always a good thing.
These damn soft feet. All right, what is it? DC what?
DC is 13 dex save.
All right, you ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
I'll be digging you out of the pit.
Oh,
you made it.
Lord.
Ooh.
Easiest save ever. Don't know why you were worried.
What was the damage again?
It was
16.
16 if you made it. No, 15. 15 if you made it.
Oh, 15.
Yep.
Easy pleasy lemon squeezy.
All right. That's into that round.
I'm at 1 hit point, just so everybody knows.
Well done.
I'm
Well,
at 3.
you turn when you guys hear Portia say she's at 1 hit point, and you see kind of a green glow behind her, and rising up from behind her is another one of the skulls joining the fight this round. And sort that initiative. And the first flame skull is the one that you guys sent away. It goes first. It's going to go... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. And then 4 magic missiles go streaking toward Maynard. So Maynard,
Shield Maynard.
4 magic missiles coming your way for a total of 14 points of force damage.
Easy.
How?
It's done. Next to go is Portia.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action to learn a different tale. What does this do? Okay. Okay. I use my action and become invisible. And move to there.
All right. Invisibly moved to there after Portia is Big Blue.
All right. Big Blue. Oops. Moves 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof. Well, actually, it was supposed to be diagonal. This is supposed to be diagonal to here, and then to go here. I'm gonna do that. I thought I was healing Portia first, but it'll be
No, that's fine.
it'll be Maynard, then Portia, then Jotaro, and then at my last second level, I'll do a healing word at second level on myself, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Jotaro, your turn.
Really? 5, 8.
And you're muted if you're talking to Jotaro.
Sorry, but I wasn't talking. I was counting silently to myself.
Portia, you were healed for 10 damage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Jotaro's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 feet to there.
Make a insight check, Big Blue.
Is that intelligence? Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. I got that for days.
Big Blue,
25.
you notice the 2 flame skulls that are on the bridge that Jotaro just went by? Didn't even recognize Jotaro's presence. It's like he wasn't even there in their eye. You can yell something out quickly before Jotaro goes.
Is this part of the ledge, or is this?
That's part of the cliff base. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
So if I landed on that space, I'd be falling into the cliff.
Yeah.
Damn
I mean,
it.
if you can jump 20 feet down and safely land there, you're good.
I can only jump 15 feet.
Okay. Maybe I might have known that before I asked you that.
What's that?
I might have known that before I asked.
So I noticed that they didn't even notice him.
Right. and you can share that if you want.
I'm not quite sure what it means because I'm just a simple fairy from a simple fairy town. But they didn't seem to notice you. Did they notice him up until the point you passed them?
You only had 6 seconds, so that's all you got through. Jotaro, they don't even see you. You notice it too now that you are told by Big Blue. What do you want to do, Jotaro?
I'm gonna double move.
Oh, right.
As my action.
You got a bonus you want to do?
Let me see where I was right there. No. I don't have a bonus action.
Okay. The flame skull behind you, Maynard, lights you up with a fireball, but only you. 24 points of fire damage, Maynard. DC 13 dex save for half.
I do holler out, get across the bridge. I think that's the trick.
Maynard, you take only 12. That's that flame skull. Maynard, your turn. Okay, assuming you guys follow up on that, they don't notice you once you're past midpoint on the bridge. Or invisible on the bridge, like Portia was. So you all get across safely, burned pretty badly, but you get into the grotto on the other side.
There's some toasty buns.
Yeah. When you get to the grotto, you see a piebald pony wearing blinders. A small wooden hut is strapped to its back, and a faint clatter can be heard from inside the hut. So here's a picture of that. Well, a little pony with a hut strapped to its back, and there's some sort of clattering sound coming from inside the hut. You guys are alone in the grotto. Molliver and the other Briganox did not follow you. You can do some healing if you like. You can investigate what that sound is if you like.
I want to investigate that sound.
Okay. The pony doesn't startle. It allows you to approach it without a fuss. You hear the sound coming from the door. You can't see what's inside the hut.
Can I try to, open it or look inside somehow?
Yeah, you can't see inside it. The door's shut.
Or, I mean, can I try to open the door?
Yeah, it seems like it's locked from the inside.
I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay. You hear the door unlock. The door swings open, and I got a picture of it now for you. Looks like this. A tiny wrinkled creature hobbles into view, accompanied by a wispy bulb of light. The old Briganock peers at you through tiny spectacles and says in common, "Big folk, how wonderful."
Oh,
well, you're welcome into my grotto. You passed the test to get here. This is Keg. He's my mule, my pony. Why have you crossed the chasm to see me?
Pony Garzoni.
We seek a way into Bitterroot.
You mean Creeping Lynn's Theater of Terror?
That's the one.
Oh, it's a dreadful place. How about a trade? I will tell you where the tunnel is, if you can give me something that would benefit me and my fellow Briganox.
Okay.
What can you give me?
Well, let me look. I can give you a potion of growth.
I will take it.
All right.
The tunnel is right over there. He points to the stone wall. No tunnel there.
Can I go over and feel the surface to see if it's illusory?
It is illusory. There is an 8-foot high, 3-foot wide tunnel in the back wall of the grotto. The old Briganock says, Creeping Lynn is unaware of the tunnel. Let's keep it that way, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
The word.
Okay, now I need you guys all to recall something.
Uh-oh.
When you were back at the Witchlight Carnival, there was a little treant named Northwind,
Mm-hmm.
and you all made a wish.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have it written down.
Oh, nice. If
That was
your
on the
wish-
dandelions, right?
Yep, dandelion wish.
If your
Okay.
wish was something bad, like you wished harm on someone or something like that, move your token down a square. If it was something good, like you wished benefit towards someone, move your token up a square. Even if that someone was just you, as long as it didn't harm others. All right, now let's see what your wishes were. Big Blue, what did you wish for?
Does Maynard not remember, or does he not want to admit that he wished that his...
I don't remember
his,
that happening.
I remember what Maynard's wish was. He said that his rival on the stage, he wished that he would literally break his leg. He told me.
Well, I think we were also given the option to wish, so you might have chosen not to wish.
No, I remember.
You don't have to. You don't have to share your wish if you don't want to. You can just say, "I wish for
mine was
something
about
good."
yeah, I think my wish was stupid though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like I have these weird like fly wings, and I wished for monarch wings, like monarch butterfly. But I like that now. Thinking about it, that's probably a waste of a wish.
I wished for success in finding Zabilna, because it may not seem like it, but Jotaro is pretty focused on his mission.
Okay, a cheerful Briganock arrives with a wheelbarrow containing
New
stones.
wings.
The stones look like round lumps of crystal. They have not been shaped or cut. And each of you who wished for something good has a stone that sheds a golden light. It's bright out to a range of 20 feet and dim another 20 feet. None of you had evil wishes. At the bottom of the chasm are the rocks of evil wishes. They would shed a purple light, 5-foot radius and dim light for another 5 feet. And the Briganocks just throw them into the chasm because they're not good for anything. But if you had a good-hearted wish, you can keep your stone as a memento. Or, the Briganock says, you can leave it here and have it cut into a sparkling gemstone. It'll take a while. You can collect them when you're done in Motherhorn. And in fact, you don't have to tell me what the wish is. You can just email me the wish, and I'll tell you how much valuable your stone is when you come to collect it.
All right. I will leave mine. Just so you know, Portia, I healed you 18, and Maynard, I healed you 19, and I healed myself 11. And I am now tapped out on spells.
Well, you can actually take a long rest here before you go through the tunnel toward
Yeah, I probably would need
toward
that.
Motherhorn.
Yeah.
And just looking forward to what that will be like. Next time we play, the tunnel ends at a wall of loose-fitting stones. After traveling quite a distance, red light shines through the cracks, and you hear the sounds of shouting and hammering coming from somewhere beyond the wall. When you peer into the room, you see crates of props stacked in the chamber alongside wooden backdrops draped in cobwebs. An 8-foot diameter circular wooden disc painted to look like a smiling moon leans against one wall. From a cluttered corner, a raspy voice says, "Psst, over here." Glancing in that direction, you see a wooden marionette carved and painted to look like a human skeleton. It is tangled in its own strings. It says, "I seem to have got myself in a wee fix." And that's where we end.
Oh.
So next time we play, you guys will be walking into the Motherhorn through the secret tunnel in the Brigandock mine, and you'll be. I have to double check. I think you're still 6th level for that part. So let me double check, and I'll send that in the summary, whether or not you level up to 7th.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.